Hey everyone, Adam back with you after a bit of a delay. I promise the hot sauce challenge didn't ruin my anus. It's just simply I've had a lot on with work and moving home, and being totally honest, I didn't have any rehousings to do, so I didn't have a lot to show you guys, but got a few things lined up. I've got a lot of rehouses to do, and I also wanted to do this video based on the dozens and dozens of questions I get, not about my ferociously attractive beard.
No way.
Or witty sense of humour.
No.
Or amazing tarantula keeping skills.
It's a total fabrication.
No, the most common question I seem to get in the comments is, where did you get that enclosure from? So in order to help people out and also hopefully give some exposure to an incredibly good company run by an incredibly good person, I thought I'd throw together a video on the ARACHNOsys enclosures I use. I'll try and go through the features as best I can, and why after what seemed to be like weeks of research trying to find the perfect enclosures for my little guys, that I settled on these, and go through a few other points around them. So hopefully if you're one of the people who's asked where did you get the enclosures from, you'll find this useful, and I'll come back with some rehousing content as well, so you can see some of the little guys in future. Thanks all. So judging from these shelves, it's pretty clear this isn't going to be a review and more of a video heaping praise on the ARACHNOsys enclosures. As you can see, I like them a lot, and I house every spider I keep in them. I haven't been paid to share my opinions here. I'm definitely not the type of person to sell my arse for a few freebies and a couple of pennies from the YouTube money truck. These are my honest opinions, and they're from someone who's spent a lot of his own money on over 20 enclosures from this company. Now I'm going to get this out of the way first. You do not need to buy expensive enclosures to keep tarantulas properly. As long as the enclosure is suitably ventilated, allows the appropriate depth of substrate and floor space for your tarantula, then that's all you need. Recently spoke to a keeper overseas who was publicly shamed on his YouTube channel for using plastic containers that he'd repurposed himself. Quite frankly, that's bullshit. His husbandry was spot on, his animals were getting great care, and how fancy your enclosure looks will never enter the spider's mind. All they want is a safe, secure home with the right conditions to thrive. That being said, my choice is to display my animals prominently in my home, and I'm not someone who's got any kind of aptitude for DIY or enclosure builds, so I was looking for something that was both attractive and functional, and ARACHNOsys definitely fits the bill. So first of all, let me show you a few features that swayed my decision to buy exclusively from ARACHNOsys. You could immediately tell the designers of the enclosures had years and years of experience in keeping arachnids. I know there's a current trend to make a quick buck out of the growing tarantula hobby. You know, you get an acrylic box, ventilate it, slap some sleek branding on it, and it's going to be pretty profitable. But there's just a little more thought that goes into these, I think, and they're anything but an acrylic box, as you'll see. They're really well thought out designs, so here's a few of the features. So the first point is the ventilation. All of the enclosures in the range have amazing ventilation, and I was especially impressed by the cross ventilation present in the arboreal enclosures. Some species such as Avicularia or Carabiner, they are incredibly dependent on having good cross ventilation, because stagnant air or an overly stuffy enclosure can cause them to die prematurely. With the ARACHNOsys enclosures, the ventilation is plentiful and well placed. Second point is the double door design on the majority of the models. It makes life so much easier for the tarantula keeper for general maintenance and rehousings. For example, in arboreal rehousings, I can use the top door for getting them out and the front door for getting them in, which takes advantage of their natural tendency to climb. It doesn't sound like much, but not having to battle the tarantula's instincts during rehousings, that definitely takes the pressure off. And of course, you've got a choice about which angle or which approach you use for taking in your maintenance tasks. So it's a really, really good feature. Third on the list, and I think this is one of the most ingenious things, the locking mechanism doubles up as a feeding hatch. So this minimises disturbance of the tarantula, or if you're a nervous keeper or you have a bit of a bolty escape artist feed, it gives you a way to safely get food to the spider without having to take the entire lid off. Also, it's a wonderfully secure lock, so that's another layer of peace of mind. You don't want to be having escapes. There's also a really convenient watering hole, so you can fill the dish with an appropriate bottle here without disturbing your spider at all. So again, a lot of thought has obviously gone into this, and it just makes maintenance and feeding incredibly easy. Fourth on the list is the visibility. I take a lot of photographs of my spiders. Photography is like a side hobby of mine. The enclosures have great clarity, so if I want a photo of a spider that will run if disturbed often, I can get one through the enclosure, such as the clarity. Now, my favourite of the enclosures is the SL range, these slanted enclosures that everyone thinks are really cool and keeps asking about. But as well as looking really cool, the slant gives you an amazing vantage point when you open it up. So you've got a great angle and good visibility to get a shot of your spider when they're out and about. So many of the good photos I've taken have been due to being able to get a nice low angle due to the opening of the enclosure. So yeah, the visibility is absolutely fantastic. And my fifth point is the build quality. Now, remember I said earlier that they're not just expensive branded acrylic enclosures like so much of what you see on the market. I wasn't lying. Now, the doors on the ARACHNosys enclosures are constructed from a special polycarbonate, which means it won't warp due to moisture. So that's especially useful if you're keeping moisture dependent species. It's also an incredibly strong material, so the door hinges have super durability, and that's another really clever design choice. Also, it's much lighter and stronger than glass, which, even though I'm hell of a strong, is a bonus when you're carrying around hefty enclosures full of substrate. So there you have a few minutes of uninterrupted praise for these ARACHNosys enclosures. They are Europe-based, ship all across Europe. They're currently looking for distribution in the United Kingdom and the United States. So hopefully they'll be wider spread. They deserve absolutely every success. I've been lucky enough to personally get to know Reinhold, who runs the company, and he's just a genuinely nice guy. Has helped me a lot as somebody who is a relative novice as a tarantula keeper, has been willing to share his knowledge, and most of all, he's been willing to put this amazing product on the market, which I'm absolutely delighted with. And as such, I've bought another bunch of these enclosures, the newer design ones, so I've got a lot of rehouses to do. I'll try and post them up here. Let me know, comment who you want to see. I've got Loki, the Syriopagopus species Valhalla, Gaga, my Carabiner versicolor, Niku, my Phormictopus species Dominican purple, Hades, my Pterophosinae species Panama, and Jane Fonda, my Barupis cimaroxagorum. So if you want to see any of those sooner than the others, let me know in the comments and I'll get that done and up next once I've built all the enclosures. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope it's helped you if you're looking for a high quality enclosure to present any of your species in. And I'll see you next time for likely a rehousing. Bye. Just noticed Phoenix was watching me do that last outro, so that's nice. Bit of support. Cheers, Phoenix.